Hello, everyone. Sorry, my child is currently having a Zoom session, last day of school, and they're, telling us all the things that we have to do, and I'm like, yeah. So sorry, I'm like running back and forth, trying not to miss a beat. How are you guys? Good. All right. You know what? He's actually still in his meeting, so I'm gonna take you guys to my room because it's really noisy. He's also downing a whole jar of chocolate pretzels, guys. I don't know what to do to stop the child. I have zero control over my child. All right, go ahead and unmute yourselves, guys. I want to hear you guys. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Chester.
Chester, hi, everybody.
Hey. Good to see you guys. So, very quick update. I know you said this is going to be your last wellness challenge meeting. It was officially supposed to be done last week, but I wanted to extend it just to this week because I wanted to check up and check in with you guys. Just to make sure we know we're doing okay. Also, I sent you guys a very simple email on Monday. I'm hoping all of you guys saw it. The challenge for this week was simply to breathe, okay? It was a very overwhelming week. It was, it's been a very overwhelming couple of months, right? But it almost feels like one thing kind of, transpires and then boom, something else gets dropped and it's a constant just change. So I felt that last week, we really just needed to breathe. For those of you that took the breathing class, I know that you guys we talked about it briefly, right after the class, but most of you were pretty shook. You were still kind of like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And I wanted to give you guys the room to kind of, reflect on it. I know Gary took it, Jansen took it, Alicia, you were there. Monica, you weren't able to do the breathing class, were you? Yeah. So it was a great experience overall. I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed it. Is there any comments in regards to that? I know Chester and Elijah weren't able to take the class. I'm sorry to say, guys, you definitely missed out. But hoping, and Monica too, but hoping to do it sometime again in the near future if it's something that you guys would like. Is there anything that you guys could share with Chester and Monica on that, and Elijah on the breathing class? Anyone besides me? Yeah, it's deep, huh?
It was uncomfortable for a bit, I'd say. Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah.
But at the end, it felt really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a very different approach. Gary, is there anything that you think you'd like to add?
The same as Alicia. It was uncomfortable, but then the release at the end was pretty amazing and shocking and emotional. I didn't quite know what to do when after we stopped the session. Like the rest of the day, I just didn't know what to do with myself because I was in kind of an altered state. So
yeah, absolutely. Now, both of you guys used the word uncomfortable. What about the breathing class made it uncomfortable? I wanted to touch on that.
I started like sweating and getting really hot and like wanting to take off like my clothes because it was like, what the, yeah, that was what was uncomfortable.
Your body reaction.
That was good. I was at home.
Yeah.
Oh, I was freezing.
You were freezing, right?
I was freezing.
Really? Okay.
It's funny because he mentioned it prior to starting how the body reacts, right? He talked to us about the lobster claws, for example, which is something that happens. It's a natural reaction of the body due to box breathing. Another thing we say, he might get cold. When I did it the first time, I was cold. I was really cold. Mind you, we did it at the gym, but still, I really did feel how I went from being perfectly fine with the weather to feeling very chilly, very like, oh my gosh. So it's interesting to hear, Alicia, that it was the opposite for you.
That was weird because I was like, I'm not cold. I felt the opposite. I don't know if I was doing it right, but I mean, I think I did because at the end, yeah.
Everybody's going to react differently. That's interesting. Okay. What else about it was comfortable? So besides your body kind of like haywiring a little bit, was there anything else that made it uncomfortable?
Well,
I
when
mean-
he said it was gonna be, we were gonna breathe that way for, I think he said 20 or 25 minutes. Like that was the trigger in my brain. I'm like, oh crap, like that's a long time to
Die.
sustain that. But then when you were doing it and we got to the next part of it, it didn't, I couldn't believe that that time had passed in that,
Right.
yeah, it felt,
Yeah,
I was hot and then I got cold towards the end. I got very chilly towards the end, which I never get chilly. I'm just usually hot. So,
Yeah, you radiate heat.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, yes, I agree 100%. So for Elijah, Chester, and Monica, I mean, we briefly talked about it before, right? What the breathing class would be like. I didn't want to give you guys too much insight on it, simply because I feel like also another challenge, a part of our challenge throughout these 6 weeks was to try new things, right? To kind of get ourselves into a place where and with the pillar we were working on with this, rest, emotional rest was a big one for this week. And I think me going very deep into exactly what was going to happen, I don't want to scare you guys off. And it's not because it's a scary experience, but it's because it is a bit uncomfortable. And it's uncomfortable simply because you're taking your body and your brain into places that you don't take yourself to on a daily basis. And it's very healing to do it. It's the same thing like when I asked you guys to share a childhood experience, right? Or a good experience, a bad experience. And all of these triggers that they have on us as adults. And unfortunately, I feel like this is something that we don't do enough as adults, that we don't really take a second to acknowledge our experiences, right? The everything that has made us who we are till today, and how those experiences, some of them, they were lived through, but they were never acknowledged. And I think that's something that as adults we should do more on the regular. Like, I mean, Tony actually mentioned therapy, right? And how much that's helping him. I'm actually on the process of starting therapy as well. And I'll share with you guys, I had a therapist when I was maybe in high school, middle school, high school, after some very unfortunate experiences for me as well. But I had a bad breakup with one of my therapists. And mind you, I was young, okay? I was very young, but it was very difficult for me to begin with to share my experiences with a stranger, right? But as the days go by and as you start building this relationship with your therapist, you start sharing these experiences with your therapist, you're building a relationship. Like this person becomes important to you. You know that this is the person that's designated to listen to you and help you navigate the feelings. And I was very young again. I was maybe like 17 years old, 16, 17. And then I went to my therapy session and she said, after our session, she said, I'm actually getting moved over somewhere else and you're going to have a different therapist. Oh my gosh, guys. That was awful for me. It was awful. I got so angry. And the next therapist I had, bless her heart, she was doing her job, but I made it very difficult for her. And I mean, ultimately, I made it very difficult for myself, right? But I closed up. I went, and I refused. Mind you, she had my file, so she knew pretty much everything she had to know. But you don't have clients to read their files. You have clients to hear them out. And I closed myself up entirely, and I said I didn't want to do it anymore. I felt betrayed. I felt like everything that I had shared with this person, was disposed of, and now I have to do it again with you. And it was awful. And it was probably my anger at that time. So I've never done therapy after that. I've never even, I felt like I always had this harsh feeling in my heart about it. But honest thing is, as adults, guys, we have the ability to do that with ourselves. Like, professional therapy is absolutely helpful. and it's necessary, I think, for many of us, whether we like it or not. But we have the ability to revisit these experiences, and we have the ability to acknowledge what they made us feel. So a lot of these things that we went through in the breathing class, they were very personal, okay? He guided all of us together, but you guys had your personal experiences that you went to for your moment of achievement, right? What was your biggest achievement in life? That was your very own personal experience. You didn't have to share that with us vocally. That was for you. Taking you to someone, that special someone, right? That's also very yours. So all of these things, guys, we have the ability to do this for ourselves. We simply choose not to because they're uncomfortable, because of how they make us feel. Meditation is something else, for example, Jansen has mentioned throughout the challenge. Meditation scares me. And the reason why it scares me is because I don't do well in quiet spaces. It gets very scary for me. I feel like my brain and everything just gets so loud, and I don't have the ability to find the peace within myself. So we all do things differently, but I know it is a goal for me to meditate. I need to be able to find my inner zen and my inner peace, even with my thoughts being loud. So I'm hoping that experience for you was a good one. And yes, I'm glad to hear you're saying it was uncomfortable, because to some degree it was meant to be uncomfortable, all with a good purpose at the end. Dana was also there in this breathing class. And so Dana, to catch you up very quickly, Gary and Jansen and Alicia, they're sharing how it was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable to some degree, you know, how their bodies were responding and where they were taken. But overall, it was a really good experience, right? So what about you, Dana? What can you tell us about this breathing experience? What was it for you? What was it like for you? Gary's telling me that it kind of like had him on a daze for the remainder of the day. How did you feel?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can't hear you very well, actually.
Hello, can you hear me?
No. Oh, are you having troubles? Oh, I think I put him on the spot.
Let me turn this on.
It's
Can you hear me now? Okay. Well, for me, yeah, it wasn't that uncomfortable for me. Actually, the breathing was tough. Like after a while, I felt like man, I wanted to take a break from the breathing aspect. But I tried to get through it, and then my computer turned off, and it was the craziest experience, because like literally I couldn't walk, you know, because if you try and get up after you've been doing that for like 3 songs, like your body just doesn't want to function. And I was like tripping going down the hallway trying to get my computer up and running. So it was weird, you know, not just lying there. But yeah, I went through the full range of emotions as well. You know, the laughter, the crying, the screaming. Yeah, it felt good. Yeah, really, it wasn't a bad experience at all overall. Yeah, it was really good, and it had me feeling good all day too.
Good. I'm glad to hear. I'm really glad that you guys took the class, and I'm going to try my best to put in another one soon. Right now, we're working on the reopening of the gym somehow. We're doing lots of cleaning, lots and lots of cleaning. As you guys, if you guys were at the town hall meeting that we ran,
so maybe we should start from the beginning, right?
We have new paint, we have new equipment, we have lots of new stuff happening, and we're looking forward to having you guys back. Obviously, you know what the requirements are. We're going to be having, you know, very strict rules as to who is in the gym, and it is absolutely your choice on if you're ready to be there. We are planning to continue Zoom classes as well. Mind you, it is pretty much 3 of us full-time coach, well, 2 of us, Jahi and I, are the full-time coaches. So we're trying to manage the schedule as best as we can, because if we're trying to run Zoom and in-gym classes, then that kind of creates almost like we're running 2 gyms. So we're trying to figure out the best schedule, what will work for all of us and for you. So bear with us there. But all right, so wrapping up with the whole wellness challenge experience, I wanted to hear your feedback on what was helpful to you, what I could do better, and how we could move forward. So last week, I also mentioned to you guys that if this was something that was beneficial to you just to log on and talk, that this is something that we could totally keep doing until we get back into the gym fully. Just the space, right? I didn't get any feedback through email about it. So I'm thinking maybe, you know, we're done with it. We can carry on for a couple more weeks before we see each other. But I wanted to remind you guys that if this 11 a.m. Friday meeting is beneficial in any way, I'm more than willing to create like topics, right? Or exercises for us to work on or just talk on. I want them to be, my goal with this wellness challenge was always for it to be interactive, where we're everyone's saying something, everyone's, you know, sharing opinion, feelings, because at the end of the day, I feel like that for me is helpful versus you guys sitting in front of a computer and just kind of watch me present charts and facts. And you guys can go on the interwebs and find those things, okay? So I think that we get a lot more from being with each other and talking to each other about whatever the topic might be. And that's something that can continue, that I can definitely continue even outside of wellness challenge. It doesn't have to be the wellness challenge anymore. It could be an extension of the wellness challenge, but just know that I'm totally down to designate an hour on Fridays for you guys, okay, for us, because this helps me out a lot as well. So is there anything that you guys felt, or maybe you want to dive into more that I can do better next time I do a wellness challenge, or anything? This is your time to talk, guys. I need to hear it. I need to hear what you guys think and what you guys suggest. Don't sugarcoat it for me, okay? I can take it. I'm a big girl. Go for it. Unmute yourselves and come at me.
I would say that the hydration part was really helpful for me, just like actually keeping track of water intake, because that's something that, you know, if I'm exercising, then I'll be drinking water, but if I'm not, I'll forget and I won't pay attention. And since this started, that's been a huge benefit, I think, just because like I've actually been, you know, I've been like using the MyFitnessPal app and like actually logging when I'm drinking water and how much I'm drinking. And I've noticed like I've increased like at least 50%. I mean, it's been huge.
And you've been able to keep it through the entire challenge up to now? Your water intake has been...
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a little low compared to what I'm usually drinking, but it was still nearly 80 ounces. So it was like not...
Perfect. That makes me happy. Awesome. Okay, is there anything that you feel I could improve in that maybe, like you said something important, you said logging in, like being able to log in. And another thing with the wellness challenge, guys, is I wanted to make it as less stressful as possible. So even with the charts on the Google Sheet, I'm more of a, I need to see you, I need to hear it from you, I need to read your language, I need to read your facial expression and your body language as well, versus logging, simply because numbers to me are not, at least this time around, because of the circumstances, are not priority, right? My priority with this wellness challenge was to create a connection, because I feel like that's what we're lacking at the moment. Some of you were great about logging in your numbers, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But on the same token, I wasn't going to nag you guys for not doing it. That was something for you guys to kind of see through. That document's going to stay there. My goal was to pull your names out individually and show you how your numbers went up and down. I can totally still do that. The thing is that there's a vast majority of you that don't have that information on there. So there's going to be a lot of blank spaces. So that's what the objective of that Google Sheet was, for you guys to be able to see the numbers. But these are things I feel like Elijah is saying now, like, oh yeah, the hydration, like I've been able to keep it up to now. Do you need numbers to realize that? Somewhat, right? Logging in, but at the end of the day, he knows that before the challenge, he wasn't hydrating well enough. And now he's like, oh, I'm better about it. Like I'm actually aware. So that's the ultimate goal for me, just to create that awareness that something ain't right. What can I do to be better at it? And for Elijah, it was hydration. Maybe for some of you it was something different. Elijah, is there anything that you feel that you'd like to more of in that regard? Like, feel free.
I don't know. I was missing probably like every other week. You know, I would have like work or industry like Zoom meetings that would be, of course, Friday at 11. And so I feel like I was kind of a half-ass
Lost track a little bit.
by me, you know, so I didn't really get the full benefit, and I'm bummed to miss the breathing workshop because that was something I was looking forward to, and I had the opportunity to see some family that I hadn't seen for months. So
yeah, it's okay. Listen, we'll make the breathing class happen again. I'll work on it, and hopefully we'll have more people take advantage of it. And I'll make sure that you know about it.
yeah, I'd say just one other benefit is just seeing everybody, because it's like, you know.
So are we on the same page with that?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I feel like that's for me, ultimately, this was the purpose, being able to connect, being able to talk, being able to, in some way, kind of block ourselves out from what's happening out there and be able to focus on something that's not social media, that's not the pandemic, that's not, you know, all that craziness, which it needs to be acknowledged, of course. But I think we're at a time where connection is absolutely necessary. All right, anyone else? Gary.
I think the whole thing was really great. It was structured really well, and I keep thinking about it as it was part of my self-care in a way. That Friday 11 o'clock was part of the time,
You
like
time.
the gym. Yeah, exactly. That I can focus on me, and having somebody to point out things to think about, or having topics to think about, kind of helped focus that.
Right? They help to navigate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's good to see people, because I don't see
And I feel
anybody.
like we've learned a lot about each other. So now when we see each other at the gym, it's going to be more than like, you know, oh hey, or bye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh hey, Monica, and hey, Elijah. Like it becomes personal. It becomes a little more profound for all of us. And I think as a community, in a gym, we appreciate each other so much, right? We like, oh yeah, I know that guy, but do you really know that guy? What do you know? And I feel like this is also another good opportunity for us to dive further into that. Where we are absolutely a very close-knit community, even without knowing each other, you know, to full depth. But I think it's neat for us to be like, oh yeah, you know, personal things are important. Like now we know Dana on Fridays has Friday movie nights, you know, with his family, and that's probably not something that most people know about Dana, right? Or that Alicia, you know, went to Mexico for summers. And that's something that's similar to me, because I was sent to Mexico too. And you know, these little facts that other people don't know about you is just, it's personal. And I think that creates a lot of good connections. So I'm glad to hear, Gary, that this is what you felt was your you time. I'm glad that that's how you see it and that's how you felt it, because for me, that was the goal. The goal was, you know, and I mean, we started with a lot more people. And you guys have been the staple to the group from day one, and makes me happy that, you know, at least for what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, right? It was of value, for which, you know, in however context, but it was valuable. So that makes me happy. Thank you, Gary. Anyone else?
You're welcome.
I'm hearing all good things. Tell me something bad, guys. Come on.
It would be something bad. Okay, I can do that. No, it was a little bit difficult to do like the 11 o'clock meeting and then the 2:30 on the same day. You know, because it was basically like most of your Fridays was doing these Zoom meetings. And then if you had other Zoom meetings for work and other things,
Okay,
it was just a little bit, it could be a little bit much. But
I hear you.
but still, I mean, I think during these times, it's, you know, it's
Yeah.
not that bad. But I was also thinking about, like, you know, once, you know, this whole work from home ends, it'd be kind of neat to, I mean, I think weekly would be a little bit much maybe, but I don't know, maybe somehow we could, you know, meet up on a monthly basis. That could be neat, you know, or have a speaker monthly, you know, or one of each kind of thing. And then if you were to do another wellness challenge with another group of people, then that group of people could, you know, meet with us once a month, and then, you know, it would kind of grow from there, kind of like a, you know, just kind of a check-in kind of thing. But then also, you know, you might have one of those pillars that, you know, you need to work on. Every month you could kind of challenge yourself to, like, you know, do better at one of the pillars that you're not doing well at, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think, like anything else where you join together like this, it's like, you know, it's great while you're doing it, but then once everyone leaves and does their own thing, you know, it's not like you kind of remember, but
It dissipates.
you don't actually, you know.
Yeah.
That's the thing about community. It's like when you're in a community of something, you're continually, like, growing. But in this sense, we grew to a point, and then it's gonna fall back. And
Yeah, it's
at
kind of
some
like
point, it
a
might
weight
click.
loss challenge, right?
Right.
Yeah, where you
Yeah.
guys get all fit and you lose all the weight,
Right.
and boom. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it,
yeah.
100%.
Life happens, you know.
Well, Alicia, it's hard to hear you.
I found all the weight that I had lost on one of those challenges.
Well, the weight you lost, I found it, girl. All right, thank you, Dana. Thank you. I agree 100%. The meetings and setting them up, the challenges with other people, those were pretty difficult, again, because of the things you're stating, Dana. There's they're working, and then mostly everyone's work life moved over to Zoom, and having people on Zoom, you know, listen, I feel you guys. I mean, we coach in the morning, and then sometimes I coach from 7 in the morning till 1 p.m. and then I have to coach again at 4. And by that time, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like a robot. So I understand your point of view on that, Dana, 100%. I think we can all agree on that. The setting up of the meetings with the speakers, we kind of had to work around with what they had also. So that was the sucky part about that too. But thank you guys for bearing with us. And in the future, my goal was to have the speakers during our meeting. So like at 11 a.m. and just make it one thing, right? But half of the time they were busy, like, you know, they're working themselves or whatever it was. So, but thank you, Dana. That's definitely, I agree with that 100%. And hopefully in the future, we can arrange better on that, because yes, and it's Friday, right? We want to just, we don't want to be on Zoom all day. I get it. All right, anything else? And then yes, Dana, on the comment of expanding and growing, yes. I'm so down to do, even when we're back at the gym, I'm so down to meet up, you know, one Friday of the week. And it doesn't have to be 11 a.m. because probably by then we'll be working at this time, but we can make it like an evening thing. Yes, absolutely. We can totally do a monthly check-in or just like a gathering for sure. I'm down for that. Anyone else?
So for me, it gave me the structure that I needed to put those things in place for myself. Like for me, it was like the hydration was huge. Like now this thing is like my shadow, you know, before it was like that would never be around me all the time. So it gave me something to look forward to, like the email, and like, oh, okay, I can bring that in. And so it also gave me the awareness for things that I wasn't doing and like put those things into place, and then gave me the structure then to fulfill on whatever it is that I wanted to accomplish. So thank you for that. And also the community aspect. Like I knew some of the folks that are on here, but didn't know everybody. But like you said, now I get to interact with others that I would have normally not related to, like on the classes that I go to. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. That makes me happy. Okay, guys. Anyone else? Good. Okay. Thank you guys for the feedback. And if there's anything that you're forgetting to say now and it comes to you, feel free to write me an email. Okay. Awesome. So I'm glad to hear that it worked for you guys. I tried to make it as soothing as possible to the point where the challenges were very attainable, and not because we don't think that you guys can't take a bigger challenge, but simply because the circumstances we're in right now is a challenge enough. So we're living through a challenging time, and I wanted to create something and take you guys through something that was going to be just very attainable to the point where we weren't creating more stress for you. Like, you know, a weight loss challenge right now, I feel, and that's how the conversation started. And I immediately was like, Paula, no, I can't. No, I'm not gonna do that one. Like, I can't. And I explained to him why, and we agreed 100%. Where we're like, we're not there right now. Right now, no. Like, we need to find balance. I think the challenge right now is finding the actual balance to live through the time. And then once we're in a better place, or not in a better place, but where we're feeling a little more ourselves, you know, in our regular, you know, place and environment, we'll be able to thrive a little further. So that being said, let me see where are we at? I don't even know where my phone is, guys. See, this is the best. I love when I forget where my phone is. Wait 1 second. Is getting your chart, your personal chart with your numbers, is that something that you guys would like? Because I could work on that this week and send it to you guys by next week. If that's something that you're like, yeah, I want to see my numbers back to back, I can do that. Okay. But if it's just like, yeah, I really don't care, then you can tell me that, and trust me, I won't work on it. So is there any, is next week, do you guys want to carry on next week? Do you want to take a break? How do we move forward? I'm almost sad to end the wellness challenge because of what Dana mentioned. I felt the same way, where I was like, oh, so now what? So are they gonna continue to do, you know, whatever, even if it's small, even if out of all this challenge, all that you guys got was, oh, I'm drinking more water, that to me is like, okay, perfect. You know, they're drinking more water. If this for you was, oh, well, I am actually eating better, I am, you know, spending more time with, you know, myself and doing a little bit of rest emotionally. I mean, you guys know that for yourselves, right? You don't have to share that with me, but that to me is a mission accomplished. But I, like Dana again mentioned, I wouldn't want you guys to feel like, oh, well, that's over. And then it kind of just dissipates into, you know, whatever it was before. So I'll leave that up to you guys. If this is something you want to do, if maybe you want to do it once a month, or maybe every 2 weeks, I can do that. Okay, so I can pull up topics to listen. We can make this so incredible, and just us, a lot of interaction. But I want to make sure that this is something that you want, and that's something that you know, find value in, so that you don't feel like, oh, I have to log into the 11 a.m. I don't want you guys to feel obliged. I don't want you guys to feel like it's one more thing on your plate. Okay. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So what do you guys want to do? I'm going to give you guys the freedom to choose. Y'all talk so much. Putting you on the spot. Yes, I'm making you uncomfortable.
I'd say every
Sorry.
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks? Yeah? Every 2. Perfect. Awesome. Let's do it every 2 weeks. So we did today. We'll take a break next week. And then we'll continue 2 weeks from now. We'll log in again at 11. I will be in touch with you guys through email, like I've been sending you, because we are shifting into opening the gym. Okay, so there's going to be more changes happening, at least for me, on scheduling all that stuff, trying to help for all the coaches, really. So maybe 11 a.m. might not be an open window anymore. Maybe 2 weeks from now, things will change for you guys as well. But we'll just answer the emails and let me know, and we'll think of a time. But let's plan on meeting 2 weeks from now. Who has a phone next to them? Because I don't know where I left my phone though. Yes, Monica.
That's
From now. Awesome. Can you guys look at what the date is 2 weeks from now, Friday?
26?
The 26th, June 26th. All right, so let's plan on June 26th at 11 a.m. and I'll have something really sweet planned out for us. Some game or something, but I'll think on it. You guys don't worry about it. So let's plan on June 26th at 11 a.m. If things change, I'll email you. I'll tell you guys we're shifting the time. I'd like for everyone to be able to attend, but don't worry if Elijah. I know your work sometimes gets takes my slot. I won't be hurt. Okay, I understand. So yes. Somebody was gonna say something, no? All right, guys. So now I'm not even going to pull out the chart. How do you guys feel? How is your hydration? I feel like that's where you guys are top notch right now. Yeah, drinking water, good, because it's hot as fuck. So I'm glad that you guys are drinking water. Listen, it is hot. It's 9 in the morning, and I'm like, why am I so good? Hydration. What about nutrition? How are you guys doing with nutrition? Good. Okay, I got a thumbs up. So. Are we like eating bad things, or are we? Because for me, I don't eat, guys. I just don't eat, and it's terrible. I'm so ashamed to say this, but that's where I mess up. Like I'm just like, I got this to do, I got that to do. That means if I stop to eat, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's terrible. It's stupid. Don't do what I'm doing. But I'm hoping that you guys are being better at that. You're actually eating something versus nothing. All right. What about exercise? Gary, I heard you busted your foot again.
I know.
He twists his foot, right, and takes a rest, recovers, and then goes out on another walk and twists it.
It's the same thing.
Where
Yeah.
are you?
Just Highland Park. The uneven streets in Highland Park. Like, I can't tell you.
Oh man. Well, I know I've seen most of you on Zoom working out. So I think I could give everybody a 4 across because I've seen every single one of you working out at some point. Maybe you don't work out as often as you like, but remember that's also part of the process, okay? It's not about working out every day right now. It's about you finding the time to do what you can. So good on you. Gary, just stay seated, okay? Don't just, okay. Next, we have rest and recovery. How are you guys doing with that? Good? Yes? Okay, and the last one, mental health. How are you guys doing with your mental health?
Right.
A few Beyoncés in the house, okay.
Hanging in there.
Yeah, all right. Tell me one, okay, this is where we interact, okay? One good thing that has happened this week. One good thing. Think on it. I'll give you guys a couple seconds, okay? It can be a very small good thing, but listen, remember we're focused on taking one small good thing and blowing it up.
Like tinfoil.
I just got my wife and I just got a delivery in the mail. It's our 10th anniversary today. So
Oh, what?
yeah. 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's been dealing with you 10 years, Dana.
10 years, yes. 10
Wow.
years. Yeah.
That's good on her, man.
Yeah. And luckily 2 years in, we found CrossFit Eagle Rock. So that was, or the formerly known as CrossFit Eagle Rock.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, but you guys are celebrating. What are you guys doing tonight?
Movie.
We went for a 4-mile hike up in Altadena. We went for a hike this morning. We just got back like 20 minutes or 30 minutes ago.
Okay.
And then we're gonna do a Zoom dinner with my cousin tonight. So we're gonna get
Okay. No movie night tonight?
no movie night tonight because we're gonna have company over Zoom. So we're gonna get whatchamacallit, Casa Bianca's pizza tonight, from up the street in Eagle Rock. And
Yes.
yeah, Italian family feast tonight. So that'll be fun.
Yes, I love it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, happy 10th anniversary, Dana.
Thank you.
It's a big one. It's a big one for sure.
It is.
Awesome. So that's one good thing. Who's going to top Dana now? Nobody got anything good? Nobody? Come on. Okay, I want to tell you something really stupid, but it was really exciting for me this week. My mustache was so grown, guys, and I was so excited to wax it. Because I'm one of those people that takes such like satisfaction when you wax and you see little hairs. I was like, oh, she's ready. And for sure, listen, it was very satisfying. That was, I giggled at myself when I was waxing because it had been a while and it hurt a little more than I remember.
Laser hair removal.
What's that?
Laser hair removal.
Listen, girl, listen, okay? I can only pull a couple dollars out my wallet right now. Oh man, but I'll think on it. I'm gonna save myself some laser hair removal for sure. I like where you're going, Jansen. Yeah, so that was my highlight, guys. I thought it was funny. It made me giggle by myself in the bathroom.
I got a haircut yesterday, like a real
Nice.
haircut.
Thank you, Jen.
Nice.
I was wondering. I was like, wait, he's looking clean. Okay. Haircut. Listen, have you guys seen Sebastian's head? My child looks like a shroom. It's bad. All right, anyone else? Come on, Mr. Gary. Something good had to happen. Monica, you were gonna say something.
It was my friend's birthday and we went over to her house and she had snow cones for everybody to celebrate. And I brought her fresh baked cookies because she loves peanut butter cookies. And I brought I found a bubble wand from Disneyland. So I came in with bubbles and just like filled the whole house with bubbles. So that was fun.
That's awesome. That is fun. Is there any kids in the house?
No, it was just us adults.
Adult? Even better. Adult bubble party. Heck yeah. Nobody else?
I can just say my cat had a checkup this week.
Oh, your
And
cat.
she's not, yeah, she has lymphoma, so it's terminal, but she's doing really well. She's put on weight and she's eating like there's no tomorrow. So and all the blood work and everything is good. So it's a
Is
good.
she getting all the treats?
She eats as much as she wants, whatever she wants, doesn't matter.
Is she like lovable or is she like one of those grumpy old kitties?
No, she's very lovable, but she
Oh.
gets very scared of people. So, but
Yeah.
she's, yeah. But she, like I
Oh,
said, now she eats.
scary.
If she wants to eat, we just keep feeding her. So, but she's only like, she's gained like ounces and the doctor's like, that's great. But it's only ounces. But she's good.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
but any good is good. Oh,
Yeah,
it makes me
yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
It makes me so
She's
happy.
sleeping or else I'd drag her over, but she's curled up on the chair. So.
Well, it's funny that, I have one right here. Look, Mr. Gary.
Oh,
That's 1 out of 10. all the other
That
babies
workout
are-
where Julie was pushing her cat back and forth, that was genius. If you guys haven't seen that, find it on YouTube. Dealey was doing this during a workout with a cat.
I was doing planks and using my cat as the weight. And he was totally cooperating. Awesome. No one else, Alicia? No happy days? Elijah, no happy days?
I got to see some like family and friends like just dropping stuff off. So that was
Oh, that was nice.
my dad's dog ran out and we were able to find her pretty quickly. So that
Oh, good.
that was
Okay. Adventure.
yes.
Perfect. Adventure's good. All right, guys. Well, I'm sure that if I say what's one bad thing, you guys will have plenty to say. And that just goes to prove how much more we focus on the negativity in our lives. Okay? So I'm going to ask you guys to think about and focus on these little good things because those are the ones that matter. The bad things are temporary. Don't dwell on them. You will have maybe a really bad 5 minutes, but that doesn't mean that you have a really bad day. Please, please, please. I find myself a victim of that mentality a lot where I'm like, and I'm stressed. And then I feel like I have to be stressed for the rest of the day. Don't. Stick to the good things. Dana, have a wonderful, wonderful anniversary meeting. Enjoy it. Chester, I didn't hear much from you today, but I can see you there smiling and I know you're still out there. doing your thing. We love you and we appreciate everything that you do. And I cannot wait to see you back in the gym. I'm sorry you won't be able to do doubles, but we'll get back into it soon enough. Okay. Alicia, I love having you in my classes. You're always the best. You're always smiling and you always laugh at my jokes. Sometimes you're the only one that laughs at my jokes in class. And, you know, like I'll say my joke and I'm immediately looking for Alicia. Like, oh, yes, she laughed. Even if my joke was corny. Elijah, you're a speed demon. I don't know how you do it. Every time you're working out, it's like, I always take Elijah's time and I'm like, if anybody else tops this time, because I don't know what you have for breakfast, Elijah. I don't know if it's this hydration you're working on, but Jesus. So good on you for kicking ass. Because I remember your first days with us. I really do remember them. And you've come a long way for sure. Mr. Gary, what can I say about Mr. Gary? What can I not say about Mr. Gary? You know, guys, I didn't realize he was gay until like I asked him about his first girlfriend.
Oh yeah, that's right. In class.
I was like, Mr. Gary, because I ask people questions in class sometimes, or like very personal questions, and they're always so sweet. They always answer. And he was like, well, how did you answer that question, Mr. Gary?
I don't even remember. I remember the question, but I don't remember how to answer.
I think he was like, well, before I knew I liked boys or something like that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
Mr. Gary. Yeah, and he was like,
I don't think I hide it, so I don't know what to tell you.
You didn't, but see, I assumed. I didn't, you know, I was like, oh, Mr. Gary. And it's always gonna be Mr. Gary. But I remember that dearly. Now I'm trying to remember your first girlfriend's name and I forgot. Damn it.
Probably Carol.
Carol, yes, it was Carol.
It was Carol.
Yes, because I made fun and I said that she probably made you a water casserole. That's true. I remember that. Yeah, see, good memories. Jansen, Jansen, since we were in Atwater, that's where I saw her the most. We used to be, before we were just here in Eagle Rock, there was another gym in Atwater, and Jansen was a daily customer. And then she would kind of like disappear and come back. But I remember her from my very first days. And there was always a treat having her too, because she was always so welcome to my jokes, everyone's jokes. Jansen will laugh at anything, guys. Just saying, she's the best hype man you can get. Monica, I feel like there was a good stride with you too back in, I think I saw you a couple times at Atwater, and then I started seeing more of you at Eagle Rock. And same thing, Monica, you've always been a treat to have in class. I am a person that feeds off of energy a lot. And you're definitely one of those people that brings in really good energy. And sometimes as coaches, we need that, because when you're coaching back to back to back, it can get like really exhausting, but seeing fresh faces and seeing and feeling the energy is always super helpful. So that goes for everyone. You guys have always been beacons of such good energy. And Dana, oh my gosh, Dana. I think the biggest thing about Dana that I hold close to my heart is the fact that he's very in touch with his vulnerability. And that to me is big. Coming from a man, coming from a father, he's been, from what I've seen just in the years that I've been in Neal Athletics, he's very involved. You'll see him take pictures all the time, you know, and all the opens and most of the events that we have at the gym, you see Dana there behind the camera just capturing moments. And I think that the biggest moment that I captured about Dana was I was talking about actually mental health in one of my classes. It was an evening class, and Dana was very responsive. Mostly when you talk about mental health or depression or suicide, a lot of people just stay quiet. It's a very like, you don't know what to say kind of thing. And Dana was one of the people that said something that actually spoke up, and it gave me a lot of insight on who you are as a person, Dana. And it's very admirable for me, at least. So good on you for that. You men are amazing, and seeing men being in touch with that side of them is very, very refreshing for women. And I mean that not just in a, opposite sex sort of thing, but because we are in a community where our children are being raised together. We're in a community where we see each other every day, and knowing that you're surrounded by these kind of people is very healing. So that's pretty much what I mean, I could say so much more about you guys, and I don't know much about you, right? But I can tell you what you make me feel. And there's this very nice quote, but it's a very long quote, right, by Maya Angelou, but it pretty much says, I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. And I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And it is one of my favorite quotes because it is so true. And I think we go back to community, and I want you guys to never forget how I made you feel. And if I ever make you feel any sort of negative feeling, any bad energy, I want you to please be sure that you can come up to me. You can approach me and be like, Dee, what you said made me feel this way. And I promise you that with all the maturity in my heart, I would be like, suck it up, buttercup. I'm just kidding, I won't say that. I will say, you're right. And I'm gonna go home and think about what I did, and I will get back to you. I've learned that over the years. I wasn't like that before, but it's something that I've learned over the years. So just know that you guys have, I remember you guys, what I just shared with you guys about you is based on what you guys made me feel, not about what I know about you. So I think that's important at any time, even past this pandemic. And I want to thank you guys for giving me your time, for blocking that hour for me, for us. And I'm looking forward to meeting with you guys every other week, and let it be what it has to be. But you guys are amazing. You guys are so, so amazing. And you guys make me so proud. You really do, because a lot of the things we talked about weren't easy to talk about, so that makes me happy. Any final words, guys? We are wrapping up our wellness challenge. Big virtual hug. Yes, Jackson. That's one thing that I'm pretty pissed off about. Like, I want to hug people. I'm a hugger. So that's gonna be hard, seeing you guys and wanting to hug you, and it's just gonna be like, we can't even do elbows, nothing. We're just gonna be like, peace out. But anyway, you guys are amazing. You guys did so good during this wellness challenge. Email me, okay, if you need any sort of numbers. I'll work on them, I promise. But see you guys on June 26th at 11 a.m. Keep drinking water, keep eating right, keep sleeping, give yourself some emotional rest, okay? Be kind to yourselves, and keep working out, guys. Keep working out, it's important, all right? Love you.
Thank you so much, Dee.
Thank you, everyone.
Dee. Appreciate it.
Good
See
weekend.
everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Dana.